Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for another virtual breakfast with benefits. And we welcome back today our friend Alex from Real Grader. He is the social media guru, as I like to call him. And today we're getting, as Alex was saying, back to basics. And without further ado, Alex.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for joining today. Yes, we're going to be covering social media basics. I do a lot of advanced classes on social media, from, Instagram Reels to TikTok videos to repurposing content, but I kind of wanted to reset. And I'm glad to see a lot of you on here that I haven't seen before, which means maybe some of the content that I've been putting out is a little over the top, right? So if you're coming here today for social media basics, I saw some of the questions in the chat. I'd love to know from the rest of you, anything that you want me to cover. This will be recorded. This will go up on Mary's YouTube channel and she'll share it with everybody. And I'm just happy to be here with all of you. First of all, let's take just like a breath and be like, yeah, it's Thursday, right? We got here. So thanks for being here. I'd love to see you on video. I'm a big advocate of being on video, because if you're not showing up on video here, where else are you not showing up on video? Maybe on social media, right? Maybe at the front door of a homeowner, right? I mean, we have to be with our faces in the real estate business. We put our faces on our business cards. We put our faces on our ads. We put them everywhere. And I like to say, how you play here, if you're about to spend an hour with me and you're not on video and you don't have a good excuse, like you got to make breakfast for your kids or you're driving, I get all that. But if you're actually available, let's really be here. Or I even say, like, then just don't join and watch the replay when you can really participate, because that's when you get all the juice out of it, right? Like if it's half and half, we're not really going to get all the juice out of it. So I'm going to get started. I have Josh on the call as well. Josh Warren, he's been with the company for several years. We travel a lot. We speak at a lot of events. We went to 150 events last year. Pretty crazy, even though, we're coming out of COVID, events are still happening. So Josh, if you want to take a moment, just introduce yourself real quick to everybody.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Like Alex said, we're just on a 6 to 7 week road show, hitting every conference, and it's amazing to see the need for help with this kind of thing in the industry. And all of these, realtors that are attending these conferences are in it to win. So they're there to learn, they're there to get, educated, they're learning to take advantage of the services that are there for you guys. So I do want to give a shout out to Walter as well. Walter shows up on all these webinars. How you doing, man? And is really excited about getting and learning about social media to kind of, maintain his business and grow his business today. Because it's like Alex said, he's got a shirt that says social media sucks, and it really does. But it's one of those things you got to do to stay relevant online. So all these events, Tom Ferry speaking, all these top coaches, everybody's preaching the same thing. So being searchable on Google, being out there on social media, staying relevant. So it's a must these days in real estate. And so it's exciting to work with a company that helps you guys do this.
And one thing I want to add is, for those of you just getting into it, I know it's overwhelming. My mom was a realtor. I totally get overwhelming technology. Even for me, a lot of technology is overwhelming. And I want you to know that after going to see these top producers, like #1 Remax team in the world, like the #1 EXP team in the world, we know all these people. Gary Ashton's actually an investor in our company. He's the #1 Remax team in the world. Even he doesn't get all this stuff, right? Like he needs a lot of help. He's always asking us questions. So don't feel alone. Like this is new stuff, and it's always changing. So I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna share my slides, and let me bring that up. Let's go to Chrome over here. One second. See, even for me, like my slides just disappeared. But we'll bring them up right now. All right, perfect. Here we go. Share screen. And boom. You see my slides? What do you see, Josh?
Just had your name, said getting started. It's saying you started screen sharing.
There we go.
Boom.
All right. So let's get into it. So today what I want to cover is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Those are the big ones that I want to cover today. Those are really your social media stack for 2023. Now, a couple people obviously are getting into TikTok. And if you're not there yet, don't worry. It's got plenty of time. Remember, Facebook started in 2014, right? I mean, we're like 8 years in on Facebook. TikTok is just getting started. So you don't have to jump in right away. I want you to all get comfortable with these before you get into the other stuff. And really, I want you all to, for those of you in social media basics, like, I really want you to get comfortable with Facebook. Because once you learn Facebook good enough, moving to Instagram, that would be your next step. Then moving into YouTube would be your next step after that. And then LinkedIn after that. And I know everybody's got a different order, but that's the order that if I was to train my mom, that's the order I would train her on, right? So I want to talk about who we are. I'm going to talk about social media basics. I'm going to do what's called a hot seat, where I'll get to Google one of you live and show you some things that you can improve with your social media presence. So I want you all to participate in the chat. That's really important to me. Not for me, really, but it's important for me because then I know you're learning stuff. So I'll ask you from time to time, what's your biggest takeaway? I'll ask you from time to time to put your contact information if you want to get Googled. And this is my mom. So my mom raised me in Long Island, New York. My mom is the super real estate entrepreneur for me. She is a woman who started from nothing. She came from Romania, where her family had everything taken away during communist times. She negotiated, her and her mom negotiated for their passports, came to America, started a new life, and got into real estate. She did rentals in Queens, New York. Then she did residential properties. And then she got enough money saved to put a down payment on this home. And she retired off of this home, and she now lives in sunny Florida. There's somebody that's got their mic on, if we could mute them because they're shuffling papers or something. And so my mom was struggling with technology in 1999, and that's how I got into the business. I came home from college. I thought I was going to go work in New York City, and my mom dragged me in, and she's like, Alex, I got to pay the mortgage, and I have listings, but I don't know how to put them into the computer. I don't know what to do there. Can you upload the listings to the computer? And that's when I started helping my mom and doing digital marketing and doing email marketing. And I landed a really big deal for her. It was an $80,000 commission check. And I was like, wow, if I can help my mom, well, actually, I didn't even think that way. I helped my mom, and then all my mom's friends wanted to adopt me, basically. They were like, come over my house and help me with my property and help me market my listing. And so I started going house to house, being like a techie geek for all my mom's friends. And next thing I know, that's all I did for the rest of my life. Here I am 23 years later, and I'm still doing techie trainings for realtors, for brokers, and giving you all solutions. So that's how I got into the business. Here we are in 2022, moving into 2023, 48% of realtors still say keeping up with technology is their biggest challenge. So I've built an entire business model on this, and I train thousands of realtors on this because you all need help with it, right? So I've been written up in the Real Deal, and this is just a little bit about me. So, I'm coming from a place of, I've got the expertise. I've built digital marketing funnels with our team here. You can see my team in the background. These are just some of the 42 people that work with us. And we built a funnel that generated over $1 million in sales just from one marketing campaign. That was massive for us. Now we're doing like $3 million marketing campaigns. It's crazy. But that's the power of digital marketing when you take it to the max. Now, I know not all of you are there. So this is our podcast, Real Estate Influencers Podcast. I interview all the top professionals in the real estate industry. I just had Joe Rand on yesterday. He's in the Westchester, Nyack area. And this is a phone number for you to get all the slides and all the guides. The biggest thing COVID taught me was contribution. When COVID happened, I thought my business was going to go under because now I couldn't go to any real estate offices. I figured nobody's going to have budgets. So I decided to start giving stuff away. And I started doing education for free every single day at 2:00 for the real estate industry. So I'm big into giving you stuff. During COVID, I wrote 8 guidebooks to how to use Facebook, how to use Instagram, how to use LinkedIn, how to use YouTube, how to leverage realtor.com, Zillow, homes.com, Google, all 8 of them. And I'll give those away for free. I just want you to use them. So if you text that number, we're not going to spam you. Josh will just text you back a link to all 8 of the guides. And if you have questions after this webinar, feel free to text him back. So you can take that number down, take a screenshot. It's 561-506-6999. Josh will put it in the chat, but that's how you'll get this slide deck and the guidebooks. Here's my goal. My goal is to teach you how to build a strong social presence without wasting hours and hours trying to figure it all out. You could spend a lot of time in this social world, but it's not all going to get you results. So I'm going to give you a couple of steps, 5 steps today, that if you take action on them, you will start seeing results. Does that sound good? Let me know in the chat. Is everybody with me? Any questions so far? We're just about to get into the content. It's going to be awesome. I want you to take action steps to upgrade your digital presence. Why? Because I really care about all the realtors in the world, and I really see the change that's happening right now. The change that's happening right now is that a lot of the top teams and top producers are building themselves up while everybody else is going to try to compete. Okay, you're seeing a lot of what I call like aggregation towards the top, right? So there's 90% of realtors that really don't do well in the real estate business, and there's 10% that do. And right now, in the next couple of years, social media is going to be a big part of that, deciding who's going to stay and who's not going to make it. I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm actually saying that like, I want all of you, because it hurts me when I see people like my mom, 30 years in the business, and then they don't know social media, and then they start losing business. Has anybody on this call lost business because they didn't have a social media presence, or that they didn't take advantage of like online marketing and things like that? Let me know in the chat, because I know homeowners are now really asking about that, right? They're pretty educated nowadays. How we doing, Josh?
We're good. I was going to say too, like even your clients look you guys up on social media, just like you look them up on social media when you want to learn more about them. So like Alex mentioned, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a powerful platform to get information on. So you definitely want to have a ton of contacts on there and use social media to your advantage to win those listings by how many followers you're having to show properties to. So yeah, definitely staying up on all of this stuff is going to be key going into the next few years.
Awesome. And Josh, just watch the chat for me because I don't have access to it when I'm going full screen like this.
You got it.
Okay, so step number 1 is Facebook business versus Facebook personal. This is the most common question I get. Like, do I really need both? Which one should I be using? How should I be using it? So let me break this down for you. You need both. Okay, and why you need both is for a couple of reasons. Number 1, Facebook personal account is how you create your Facebook business account. Facebook business account is how you create your Instagram account. And Facebook owns all of it. So it's very important for you to have all 3, a Facebook personal account, a Facebook business account, and have that connected to your Instagram business account. That's the first thing. If you don't have that set up, get some help. Go to your office manager, go to your marketing team, come to us. That's the first thing that needs to happen in order to use these platforms. Okay, now let me break down, what does it look like? This is a Facebook personal page. How you know it's a Facebook personal page is because it has a friends button. That's where you add friends and you remove friends and you request friend requests, stuff like that, right? The Facebook business account isn't going to have a friend button. It's going to be like a call to action, like send me a message, contact me. Okay, you need both, but here's the tricky part. For the past 5 years, everybody's been saying you got to put your listings on your Facebook business account. Don't advertise on your Facebook personal account. Well, guess what? The Facebook algorithms have changed, and you're not going to get that much action on your Facebook business account. It's a requirement, but you're not going to get the action there. Where you're going to get action nowadays is on your Facebook personal account, and you need to wake that thing up. It's probably, for a lot of you, it's not that active. And when I say wake it up, I don't mean wake it up by putting listings on it. That's actually not the thing to do. What I mean is wake it up by you showing up there with just like a picture of yourself, with like something about your family or something about your local town, just waking it up, like saying, hey, I'm here, I'm on Facebook personal, and start clicking around and friend requesting people. Okay, it's really important to do this, and I'll show you what the trick is here. How do you do it really easily? Now, this is a Facebook business account. Notice on the Facebook business account looks kind of similar, except, you know, Ernest here has himself branded, and he's got a call to action button, and there's no friend request stuff. It's more like informational. It's kind of like signing up for a newsletter. Facebook personal is where you're going to connect with people and relationships are going to get built. If you want to start connecting with your customers, Facebook personal is where you'd want to do that. Any questions so far? I'll put them in the chat, and Josh, let me know. Now, here is the first step with your Facebook personal account. Go in and update your headshot. Why am I going to tell you to do this? Because it wakes up Facebook. Plus, you probably have a new headshot somewhere. So you want to like update it and say, hey, everybody, I'm here. I am on Facebook. Check me out, right? And in the comment, say, hey, Facebook friends, I haven't been here in a while. I've been working on my new business. How are you all doing? Something to that effect. And why you want to put a question is because you'll get a bunch of answers and comments from people you haven't spoken to in a really long time. You will be surprised. Ernest did this and he got 81 comments. Now, that's the cool part, is he connected with 81 people. Here's the cooler part. He got 2 listing appointments out of it. Okay? So this isn't just like, hey, hi, I'm Alex. I'm over here on Facebook. This is a way to generate business and a way to connect with your sphere. Your people are actually looking for you on Facebook personal, and they're wondering, where have you been lately? Okay, so who's going to take this on? Let me know in the chat. I really, this has worked 100% of the time for my clients. So this is like a no-brainer. Put a new picture, say, hey, Facebook friends, I haven't been here in a while. Change the text a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly, because otherwise all of you in Westchester are going to do it on the same day. But say, hey, Facebook friends, I haven't been here in a while. I've been doing X, Y, and Z, and how are you doing? Let me know. Love to connect.
And I was going to say, Chief, make sure you answer them too. So engagement and following back up with them is key to starting that conversation. And then maybe you can start a text conversation, on the side. So answering their questions, or if they respond to you, respond back. Like staying engaged on all of those people that do respond to what you're saying is key to growing your relationships on Facebook.
100%. And here's the trick. If you're shy on Facebook, you don't always have to post content to be active on Facebook. You can actually just comment on other people's stuff and still be active. Like, all of you should be connecting with all of your customers, past, current, and potentially future, on Facebook and commenting on their stuff and blocking a little bit of time in your day to do it. And why? Because it's way more productive than phone calls. Phone calls take a long time. And I'm not saying stop phone calls. Phone calls are really important. But I do think you need to invest a little bit of time into social media to connect with your people and stay up to date on their lives. This isn't about like, what did they eat for lunch? This is about like, maybe your clients are actually talking about moving on social media. Maybe your clients are talking about their kid's graduation and you can congratulate them. But it's a relationship building business, and Facebook is the easiest place to do it. That's why I say I really want you to learn that one.
We got a
Okay.
couple questions, Alex. Alma says, can you have more than one Facebook business page?
You can, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's just a lot of extra work. If you're going to have multiple of anything, I would do Facebook groups, not Facebook business pages. So you can email me at hello@realgrader.com and I can talk more about that. But the best thing is really just to have one of everything, because it's just more work for you all. You know how much work you already have? I mean, I think you all know how much work you already have. Now imagine you had two of everything. How much work would that be? Double, right? I want to minimize the amount of work you have.
All right, and then AJ wants to know, can we post listings on our personal page legally?
It's not a good idea, and it's actually not what people care about. You have to realize that I know you want to promote your properties, but your people generally don't care about your listings. They're listing with you because of you. And it's not often that you really get a buyer off of a Facebook post, right? So, it's very rare, but you don't want to make it a classified ad space. You want to make it a relationship building space. Any other questions?
Nope, that was all of them.
All right, so now I'm going to give you a Facebook business and life hack.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on, Alex. We got one more question. Just fire in.
Sure.
Are my Facebook connections relevant? I relocated from Ukraine 6 months ago, so the majority of connections are not my potential clients.
That's okay. I would keep them because they're still your people, right? I mean, you're not going to just move unless you really want to cut ties with people. I would keep those people and I would add new people. So yeah, they're still relevant because they're your people, but now you want to connect with new people in your new neighborhoods. So here's the simple hack. And my kids are great at this. I have kids that are 9, 11, and 13. They are clicking away. They are not scared to click. They'll press a button and explode something, right? We are very cautious as adults in a lot of things, right? We're cautious even to cross the street or drive or anything. And my kids are like running down the street. I'm like, no, slow down, check both ways. When it comes to social media, we have to be a little more proactive. You have to start clicking around so that you get used to it. So like, social media basics, go and click around. Click on some friend requests. Click on some buttons. See where things are working. See how things are working for you. See what's behind door number 1, what's behind door number 2. You'd be surprised, but that's going to get you more comfortable with it. If you don't click around, it's just going to be really, it's like you're paralyzed. You're like, what should I click on? Just click on it. Nothing can go wrong. Even if you post something and you don't like the way it's coming out, guess what? You can delete it. It's no biggie. In fact, the biggest bloopers are the ones that do the best, right? I mean, some realtor, posted a Facebook Live at an open house and she fell down the stairs. Fortunately, didn't hurt herself, but that thing went viral, right? So you never know what's possible if you don't try. And I want to give you a story, interestingly, in my life is I was clicking around and I saw a person on my Facebook feed as I was scrolling. So I got divorced about 3 years ago. I was in a really dark place, right? 2 kids, getting divorced. I'm like, this is miserable. I'm literally crying in the closet. I mean, I don't know who's been in the divorce world, but probably a lot of people. It's not fun. And I was like, I'm never gonna find somebody. Like, this is it. Like, I'm just gonna be a single dad and call it a day. And I was scrolling down Facebook and this woman caught my attention. And here she is. And she wasn't even my friend. And I'm just like, it was the woman on the left, the blonde. And I clicked and said, who's Valeria? And I hit friend request. I just clicked it. I don't even know what drew me to just click it other than like, wow, she captivated me. So I click the button and next thing I know, she accepts my request. And then I send her a message. And I'm being really vulnerable here and sharing with you is like, I said, thanks for accepting my request. I never do this. I find myself attracted to you, so I'm doing it anyway. You're beautiful, and it seems we have similar interests, so why not? I love Dali, dispensa, and travel, because that's what she posted about. I know your sister through Landmark. I've done classes and coached with her. I see a loving, caring person in you. Honestly, I have 2 daughters. I'm currently separating with my wife. My wife's already seeing someone else, and I'm just starting to date. Would you be interested in meeting for coffee, tea, or dinner sometime? I didn't know what would happen. Next thing I know, we're together, and today's actually our 3-year anniversary. She was getting divorced as well. She had a daughter, and we actually got divorced in the same month, like signed our paperwork in the same month. And now we're together for 3 years, and we just moved in together. And these are our 3 kids, mine on the right and hers on the left. And now we have this beautiful blended family. And this was from me just clicking a button. Who knows what's possible when you click a button, right? Like a friend request to a prospect, a friend request to a person. For those of you single out there, hopefully this inspires you. You never know what's possible, right? I thought my life was over. So this is like Facebook. That's why, I even talk about social media so much, is like so much is possible through social media. The connections I've made in my life, the people I've met, the people I've hired, the relationships I've built. And I know it's a digital platform, and for a lot of you, this is like, Mars. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of gold in here when it's used with good intentions and it's used for relationship building. So I encourage you all to just start clicking around a little bit, and you never know what's possible, really.
Everybody just left the webinar, Alex. They're all clicking on Facebook right now. So let me see if we can get back.
There you go. Awesome. All right, so now you got 1 and 2. 1 was understanding Facebook personal, updating your photo. 2 is clicking around and start friend requesting people, right? People from your past life, people, future prospects, your clients. Never know what's possible. Number 3 is Facebook groups. Facebook groups is gold. So I have about 5,000 friends on Facebook, and that's the max. How did I do that? I actually went and joined a lot of groups, local groups, entrepreneur groups, paddleboarding groups, because I love to paddleboard. Whatever your activity is, whatever your local community is, look for these Facebook groups and join them, because your people are there. People just like you that like those towns, that like those activities, that like to do that stuff, are sitting on Facebook waiting to connect. And I mean, after COVID, I think we're all looking for a little connection, right? Like we've been so isolated for so long. It's time to kind of connect with people. So watch what Facebook groups does. You can go on Facebook and just search the word Westchester, and you'll find Facebook groups like I grew up in Westchester, Florida, which is not your market, but you can find one for Westchester, New York. You can find other Westchester networking for professionals. You can just search the word Westchester. You could search the word golf. You could search the word restaurants in Westchester, residents, local schools, parent groups. There is so many different groups on Facebook. And if you join them, here's the beautiful thing. You will get access to all of their members, and you can friend request all of them. And now you build up a local sphere. Okay. Now I want to give I was just on with Joe Rand yesterday, and he was saying, and Joe Rand is from Howard Hanna, Rand Real Estate, right? He's the creative director. He was saying how a lot of realtors are posting on social media, and they're like posting, hey, look at me, I just sold this home. These are the homeowners. And he's like, that's great, but make it about them. So instead of saying like, hey, check me out, I sold this home in 14 days, and these are the homeowners that bought it, or these are the homeowners that sold it, say, hey, let's welcome Joe and Sally to Nyack. They just bought a new home in Nyack, and I'd love for you to all comment and welcome them. Maybe you have recommendations to restaurants. Maybe you have recommendations to local parks. Maybe you have recommendations to schools. You could do that on Facebook personal, right? You could also go into a group, like a local resident group of Nyack, and say, hey, everybody, let's welcome Joe to the community. What's that going to do? A, it's providing value to Joe. Make sure you tag Joe and Sally, the homeowners, and it's showing up as you were the ones that helped them. in that local neighborhood. But you're not saying, hey, look at me, come list with me. You're saying, hey, let's welcome these people to the community. Maybe you've got recommendations of plumbers, electricians, restaurants. Maybe you just want to say hi. Maybe you want to bring them some cookies or some cake. Welcome to the neighborhood. What happened to the old days where people used to do that? Like, I just moved into a new neighborhood and only one neighbor brought me cookies. I was like, what the hell?
Antoinette wants to know if it's legal to do that on your Facebook.
Is it legal?
Yeah, to tell people they just moved to the community.
I don't see any legal issues with that. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I mean, you can check that with your lawyer. Don't take my word for it. But I've seen realtors do it. And I mean, if you have permission from the homeowner that says, hey, do you mind if I tag you in the post and say, welcome to Nyack? You're not giving their address. But check with a lawyer. I don't want to, go over anything, but I have seen that done by a lot of realtors. Any other questions there, Josh?
Nope.
All right. This is another great Facebook group for all of you to join. I highly recommend it. It's called Lab Coat Agents. There's 150,000 realtors in this group. It's run by Tristan Ahumada, who's the CEO of Success Magazine. And all they talk about in there is what technology is working, what are good routines, what are good lead generating tips, all kinds of stuff. It's a free group, so that's another great place to join. So let me know so far what your biggest takeaways are. I'd love to know in the chat. And Josh, maybe you can share a couple of those. So we talked about number one, update your profile pic on Facebook. Understand that you need both Facebook business and personal. Number two, start clicking around, friend requesting people. Number three, start joining Facebook groups. And why I'm doing this is really because you're building the foundation that way to have an audience. Without an audience, all this posting stuff that's where the craziness comes in. I got to post. What should I post? If you're posting and you don't have an audience, you're just wasting your time. You're like screaming in the forest and nobody can hear you. Does that make sense?
Around that, Alex, you did have a question from someone that said, what is the purpose or what should I be doing on my Facebook business account? Since we're making comments and connections on the personal Facebook.
Facebook business account is where you're going to share some content, some valuable resources. You can share your listings, not too much though, because you don't want to be overwhelming. But it's more business related content. And if you don't have thousands of followers on your Facebook business, trust me that it's not going to get you much action. It's just about showing up professionally on there so that you have a presence. I rarely see agents getting tons of leads off their Facebook business page unless they're breaking like 1,000 followers on their Facebook business page.
So we did have somebody wanted to know what was the last group that was Lab Coat Agents.
Lab Coat Agents.
Yeah, yes. Someone said how do we deal with the random millions of random posts from strangers? And then someone said they like the idea of welcome the neighborhood posts as long as, or here's the one. What should they join Lab Coat Agents with, their personal or business Facebook?
Whenever you join a group, you're using your personal account.
There you go.
You can't actually do it from your business account. And then as far as all the random posts, if you don't like the stuff that they're putting out, block them, and then you won't see their random posts. But there will be random posts in Facebook. It's part of there's random posts on Facebook, there's random posts on Instagram, there's random posts on TikTok. It's part of the sifting through the garbage that we have to go through in life. There's lots of things on TV too, but I don't have to watch them. So step number 4, okay, now this is getting a little more advanced, is you really need to start creating video content. And I don't mean have like a whole video plan and get crazy. Start with just a welcome video. Like, hi, my name is Alex Montalenti. I've been a real estate coach for 23 years. I got into it because of my mom, et cetera, et cetera. What's your story? Many of you haven't shared why you're actually in the business of real estate, right? I mean, something inspired you to do real estate and you haven't put that into like a little welcome video, because that's the first step. And it may not be the last video you do. It may just be to get started so that when you actually get one done professionally, you've got your story kind of worked out. But I will tell you, 23 years in sales, and by the way, we're all salespeople, we know this, right? Without a story, you sell a lot less. With a story, you will sell a ton more. Why did you get into the business of real estate? It's so rare that I see people share vulnerably, like why they did it. And when they do, I'm touched. Like I've heard a few stories from realtors on why they got into real estate, and I'm like, oh yeah, that now I see why you're so passionate about it. So whether, you need to read the book, Simon Sinek's book on why, or you need to dig a little deeper as to why, or you need to think a little bit, take some time out of your day to think about why do I even wake up and do this every day? But if you can put that into a little video, even just practice with a selfie, just take the video and shoot yourself and talk into it, practice that a few times. I'm telling you, I will happily review anybody's video for free and give you feedback. So if you shoot a video and you email it to hello@realgrader.com, I'll personally review it, because I will bet money that only 5 to 10% of the people on this call will actually do it. Why? Because I don't see it. It's not there. It's not available online. Rarely do I see people's stories. And yet we all know that stories are what sell. When you write the description for a property, it's the story about the property. It's not, it's got 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. When you take somebody through an open house, it's the story about that house. It's the story about the neighborhood. It's the story that sells the property. People fall in love with stories. I hope that landed. It's really such gold. And I mean, it was, I got somebody taught that to me and I was like, wow, I've been missing story the whole time. I just jump right into what I do for you, how I can help you and how I can serve. But it's like, why do I even do this? So creating video content. Now, once you have that story, here's the beautiful thing. It can go everywhere. It can go on Facebook. It can go on TikTok. It can go on Instagram. It can go on all these different platforms. But without video content, without you talking about anything, you can't use Instagram Reels really and be good at it. You can't use TikTok and be good at it. You can't use YouTube and be good at it, right? All of these platforms actually require video. And videos engage people. Let's face it, we don't watch TV as a static image. We watch TV because it's video, right? People don't watch static images anymore. It's not cool enough. It's not entertaining enough. We need entertainment in this world. And the entertainment, when it comes from a place of inspiration and like passion, is way more inspiring and way more relationship building. So I encourage you all to at least try to shoot a video of yourself. Anything. Just start getting into the act of it. And if you have a video production company that shoots your properties, ask them to shoot one of you. You all list properties and you spend hundreds of dollars to market those properties and do videos and photos. What about you? You're the product. The properties are not the product. You're the product. Invest in yourself. And then you'll have more properties. You'll have more listings. You'll have a story. Make sense? Listen, Instagram Reels work really well. We have clients that get 11,000 views. TikTok works really well. YouTube Shorts work really well. All this stuff works well, but it's all dependent on video. So I can't even really get advanced, but I'm teasing you into social media basics. Start with a video. This is Peter Hernandez. He does a lot of video. He's at Douglas Elliman. This guy's yelling right in front of me. It'd be a good video right here. All right, number 5. So social media, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have YouTube, you have LinkedIn. Okay, we didn't talk about LinkedIn too much. The big thing with LinkedIn is actually connecting with people. Hold on one second.
Yeah, guys, and don't be afraid to follow other realtors and have other realtors following you back, especially like on LinkedIn and the sites that you do want to post your listings on, because you'll get more engagement from realtors that aren't really, pounding the MLS or checking for listings, right away. If they see your property, you can tell that in a listing appointment. I've got a lot of realtors that follow me that are going to see your property when I post it on my social media site. So use that to your advantage.
All right, perfect. So now if you think about it, you've got Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and if I Google you, I should start to see some of that stuff. You know what the biggest change for Google is in 2023? They're changing the algorithm to show more video. So that means YouTube videos are going to show up because Google owns YouTube. Facebook videos are already showing up, right? Soon Instagram videos are going to show up too. So all this stuff is going to start to show up because people don't want to look at just text. They want to look at videos. So if there's one thing you can really take on in 2023 is like, what do you look like on Google? Am I doing video? Am I on Facebook ready to connect with people? Those are some of the basics that you should be looking at. And if I was to ask you all, how is your digital presence right now, 1 through 100? Let me know in the chat. Would you give yourself a 1 on 100 on all of these platforms and how you look online? Like if I was going to list my home with Joseph or with Dee or with anybody on this call, how would I grade your online presence? Would I say, wow, I'm impressed. Look at their online presence. Or would I say, it's lacking something, right? I don't know if they're going to be able to market my home because they don't really market themselves that well. And I'm just doing this to give you some awareness of like where you are, and whatever number it is you put, if it's a 10 or if it's a 90 and the maximum is 100, you're really at 10% of your potential or 90% of your potential. Imagine what would happen if you were at 100, right? Imagine what would happen if you had all your connections on Facebook with all your clients. You're going into the Facebook groups, you're posting a little bit of video, you have a story. Do you think your business would grow? Let me know what's going on in the chat, Josh.
Yeah, so 19142, whoever that is, said they give themselves a 1. Thanks for being honest there. Well, my man Walter though said he has a 92, so he must know for sure because he's worked with us and we probably gave him that updated grade. We've got a 10 showing here. Allison says she has a 30, Carol a 1, Anna a 45, and Brian a 50, Alma a 40, a 70 I'm seeing. Carol says she's giving herself a 1. Mary 45 and Gayon a 2, hates social media.
So here's the cool thing. I knew that this was like a big question years ago. How am I doing online? So we actually built a software and a tool that checks all of your sites and lets you know how you're doing for real. So if you want to do an audit of all of your stuff and get a sense of like, what am I missing? What am I doing good? Maybe you already know, hey, I need help. If you text Josh and just say, Google me, he'll actually get back to you and send you a link where you can actually schedule to get a live audit of everything. We do this for free. We've done this for over 25,000 realtors at this point, and the average score is a 30. And we have helped agents get all the way to 100. So if you know this is something you kind of want to know where you're at, just text Josh. He'll put his number in the chat for you. Josh, if you want to just say your number really quick, slowly.
Yeah, 561-506-6999.
Give it to him one more time because I saw people reaching for pens.
561-506-6999.
Perfect.
And I'll put it in the chat again too.
So this is what we look at when it comes to your online presence. Not only are we looking at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google Business, which is the #1 place you should be getting reviews, not Zillow, but we also look at your Zillow, we look at your homes.com, we look at your realtor.com, because all of that is what is going to create your Google presence. I mean, back in the day, it was all about websites and SEO. Now it's about how good do you show up on Google? Not how good does your company show up on Google, how good do you show up on Google? Because you're the brand within the brand. You're the product. This is like my new thing is like I was talking with Joe Rand. It's like we think the listings are the product. We think our company's the product. No, you are the product. How do you show up on Google? So that's social media. So I want to list or buy with you. Where do I go to search? I go to Google, and then I'm going to see all your social media. I'm going to see your Google business. I'm going to see if you have reviews, right? So this is the grading part. And these are the most common mistakes we see: inconsistent social media and a lack of branding. Maybe you came over from another company and you haven't updated it yet. Maybe you have broken links and outdated information, inappropriate or negative content, missing profiles or duplicate profiles. Your data is not synchronized. These are all the things that could go wrong and do go wrong for a lot of people, including the top producers. You're not alone, right? So let me see how I'm doing on time. I'm just going to offer anybody who wants to get Googled, just contact Josh. He'll get on a call with you one-on-one and Google you and give you recommendations. And then he can run you after the call through our platform and give you an actual grade. But that audit is key. So I want to pause for a moment and ask, what's your biggest takeaway so far? And Josh, let me know what's in the chat.
All right, so we got, what if you are mostly a buyer's agent? Someone's asking that question.
In regards to what? I mean, if you're mostly a buyer's agent, you still need to build your brand online. You still would connect people on social media.
Buyers are still going to Google you. So, and it's mostly referrals. It's over 80% of referrals. I think it's probably up to 90% at least. Google you guys because they have your card in front of them. They've got 2 or 3 other agents' cards in front of them from referrals they're getting from friends and family. So they definitely Google you guys and look you up online. And they're looking at Google reviews are the #1 thing. They're looking at your Facebook, and then can they get out to can they find your Instagram? Can they find your YouTube? So having those all kind of interconnect together and just having a full solid online presence is key. And those are the 8 platforms that we've identified that get the most traffic for you. So those are the 8 sites that we grade you on, because you definitely want to have a solid presence there and be professionally branded and looking good, because you'll win that listing, you'll win that call. We've got a lot of clients that just get calls from their Google business page. So if you don't have one of those, definitely text me, because you got to get that set up right away.
What's the biggest takeaways we're seeing in the chat, Josh?
The way the future of the business seems to be is social media. The audit sounds very helpful. Let's see. That's all we got so far.
Okay, perfect. So this is the bonus, the secret. What do the top producers do? They get it measured, they get it managed, they get it maximized. Now, this is the part where I offered all of you, if you need help with this, this is what we do. And what really we do is we save you time and we save you energy and we make sure you look good online. All of the stuff that I'm talking about, you can do it. It just requires time. It requires the knowledge. We're giving you the guidebooks. So I'm giving you all the tools to do it. Then the question becomes, do I want to invest time in this, like fixing it myself, or do I want to hire somebody to do it? So just by a show of hands, how many of you feel like you need help with this, or you want to figure it out on your own? Just put in the chat, figure it out on my own, or I need help with this. And this is really what we've created as the process to have every agent be successful online. We call it the 8-site digital blueprint. Whether you do it yourself or you hire us to do it, it's the same process. It's really getting everything set up foundationally the right way. Having a Google business page with 5-star reviews, having a Facebook business page that has your brand has everything set up, all the settings. Have your Instagram business page linking to your website, have that set up, connected to your Facebook business. Have your LinkedIn profile set up. Have your homes.com, your realtor, your Zillow, all professionally branded. Because this is the stuff that shows up when people Google you. And even if they find you on Facebook, guess what they're going to do? They're still going to Google to see, like, what do you look like online? It doesn't matter which way they come in. The whole thing is you online. How do you look? Right? So this is what we do for a living. We've actually helped over 7,500 agents go through this 8-site digital blueprint where we do it for them. So we set up your Google business page the right way. We give you tools to get more reviews. We show you how to get more reviews. We set up your Facebook business page with the branding. We set up your Instagram profile the right way. We give you the education to grow on those platforms. We give you ongoing support. We have Zooms like this just for our clients 3 times a week, where you can come in and just ask questions and say, hey, I'm stuck, Alex, what do I do? And me or my team is going to be there answering those questions. We set up your LinkedIn and tell you how to expand your connections on LinkedIn. We set up your YouTube channel. We set up, at the end, we give you a badge that says you're a social media influencer. You have a complete digital presence because it's done by a professional, right? We set up your homes.com the right way. We set up your realtor.com the right way. And we set up your Zillow the right way. Because information alone never helped anyone. I know there's a lot of information, and I know for a lot of you, it's like, okay, I need to get started. I get that, Alex. Where should I get started? Well, you can get the guidebooks and start reading about it. You can watch YouTube videos, which is what I did when I first got started. Or you can hire somebody, which is what I do when I sell a property. Now I hire a realtor, right? I've been burned by trying to do it myself. That's not a good idea. Actually, biggest mistake I ever made in real estate was when I sold my home in Long Island and I tried to sell it myself. I actually lost $200,000 on that deal. So I will never do that again. So where are you and where do you want to be? Well, you want to be on the other side where you actually have all this stuff set up. And the best part is we do it for you. So for those of you looking at it as like, well, what's my time worth? How long does this take? Setting up your profiles, if you're at scratch, is going to take you anywhere between 20 to 40 hours. I know this because we did it manually for like the first 30 clients. And then we created a process and we started getting efficient at it. So what I'm offering to all of you is to actually do it for you, to anybody that needs the help. And I'll tell you what that costs. If you're interested, let me know in the chat if you want me to go through this.
Yeah, we're getting some in the chat, like I definitely need help. So there are some agents that are looking for this help. There are some agents on the webinar now that have used us and are probably glad they took action to get this done, because I think one of them has said they've been trying to do this for years and just keep getting sidetracked. So if you just want to get this down, get this solid, and visiting all these conferences, meeting a lot of these top producers, a lot of them get it and they're very solid online. They've got a lot of Google reviews and they're winning deals. So Google reviews, we just talked with our Google team, getting to that 20, 25 5-star reviews on Google Business, basically changes the whole algorithm on Google for your search. So
yeah, let me talk about that for a second. Google Business reviews are gold and they're easy. Zillow reviews had to be done by a client. That was really hard for you all to get them to do. It's still hard to get people to do Zillow reviews. Google reviews can be done by anybody. Your mortgage broker, another agent, friends and family, right? I mean, you don't want to get fake reviews, but you have the opportunity to get reviews from anybody. So you do want to build that up. There's agents that have over 1,000 reviews right now on Google. I'm not saying you're going to get there overnight. That took them years, but that's like where people are going right now. So Google Business Optimization, we set that up. A lot of companies charge anywhere between $99 to $500. The value is $297 as far as I can see, but that's not what we charge you. Facebook Business Optimization is $297 value. Instagram Business, $97 value. YouTube channel, $97 value. LinkedIn, homes.com, Realtor, Zillow. Total value is $1,176. The bonus is that we actually get on a 90-minute call with you one-on-one. So we get on a 90-minute Zoom. We send you a form to fill in all the questions we need beforehand. So we're fully prepared. And then we actually design the branding for you based on your brand and compliance, and we implement it for you. So when I say leverage your time, instead of you spending 20 to 40 hours doing this, you spend 90 minutes with us, and then we go do the work. So that's really what you're paying for, is like, yes, it requires 90 minutes of your time, but then we do all the work after that. So that's a $594 value, total value $1,770. Then what we do is we give you a digital business card that brings everything together. Now, a digital business card is the new thing. You'll be able to share that from your phone with anybody. You'll be able to put that in your email signature. You'll be able to send that to people. It's fully interactive. We just did a deal with the Miami Association of Realtors. All 65,000 agents now have digital business cards from us. So, I mean,
that's the number one tool that's going to build your Google reviews. That's the number one review we hear back from agents. It makes it very, very simple to get Google reviews using that.
We put all the shortcuts on this digital card, which is basically an icon on your phone that you hit it and then you go share, and you can share it with anybody. We build it for you. So total value is $1,980. And what we're offering to all of you is for $897. This is our one-time special. We will set up all 8 of these platforms for you. We've done it over 7,500 times. We know what we're doing. You can read our reviews. We have over 350 5-star reviews on Google. And all I'm doing here is like, my mission is to reduce your stress, expand your digital footprint so you can stay focused on the business of real estate. My mom didn't want to be a Facebook guru. She didn't want to be a techie. She wanted to help people move from Europe and find their first home in America. And I just helped her with the tech side for years. Now I've been expanding to help all the realtors across, we're partnered with EXP, we're partnered with Berkshire Hathaway, we're partnered with Douglas Elliman, all the big brands, Keller Williams. So we just help you leverage your time so you look professional online. So it's a one-time investment of $897. The digital business card is $99 a year. We encourage you to try it for the first year because it's actually really going to help you. And so for $996 total in year 1, everything gets set up and you have a digital business card. For those of you that are interested in that, either text Josh, hop on a call, or he's going to put the link in the chat. And all you would do is sign up, schedule your 90-minute call, and we are going to walk through. I don't care how messed up you are online or how set up you are online. We take you to the finish line. Right. So, I mean, we work with agents that don't even know their passwords, and we find all the passwords for you. We help you with all that. So that's really what we're doing here. And at the end of the day, I mean, if all it did was get you one client, would this be worth it to you? I mean, I have clients that do 5-10 deals, some in a month, some in a year, just from their Google presence. Right. So, I mean, this really does grow your business. I know it because I have proof. That's the investment for all of you. And the one thing I want to give you, I'm just jumping ahead, for all of you, because we're moving into 2023, and I know how important it is, I'm actually also going to include 1 month of free coaching from us and support. It's a $97 program per month, and that's like ongoing support. So you literally can jump on a Zoom room anytime in the 3 slots that we have per week. I do a coaching call once a month. I give you social media content to use every first of the month. Really beautiful content that's pre-designed with hashtags. You just download it and post it. That's it. And that's for $97 a month, but I'm giving it to you free because I want you to start thinking about this for 2023. I want you to invest in yourselves, invest in your future, because this is like a big deal right now. I mean, I was just at FubCon, which was like the biggest real estate conference, brand new conference. It's going to be bigger than Inman from what I see. They had a huge stage, and John Cheplack and Tom Ferry were on the stage, and all they're talking about is, are you providing value online? Are you connecting on social? Are you connecting with people? Are you putting out videos about yourself? Because that's part of what's going to make you unique in 2023. In the sea of 2 million realtors, you got to be unique. And my goal is to really help all of you do that. And I don't have you sign any contracts. There's no commitments. You only pay for value. You like what you get, you stay. You don't like what you get, you cancel. All good. We can part ways. So that's what I'm offering all of you. It's an $897 or a $996. I'll include the first month of what I call the influencer program. This is what it is. It includes mastering every area: Google, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Zillow, Realtor, Homes, and YouTube. This is all that's included in the 97 program. 2 live monthly coaching calls, access to monthly webinars, access to our video library, over 50 hours of video, 242 pages of ebooks, the reputation building classrooms, customizable content, downloadable content. Every first of the month, we put it up and you can take it, set up for all the holidays, set up for like random posts about living rooms, things that'll work for your market, not super random. Customizable email signatures and VIP support. So if you're somebody that needs a lot of hands-on hand-holding, this is like so gold for you. And it's really for people that are doing like anywhere from, 3 to 5 deals a year and up. If you're doing less than that, then really you should be focused on getting listings, not spending money. But if you're like kind of like in that place where I want to grow my business, this is where you should be. So Josh is available. Shoot him a text, click on the link, do what you feel is right. If you have questions, email us at hello@realgrader.com. And I have all kinds of free content on realgraderuniversity.com. All the videos I've ever done, all the stuff I did during COVID, it's all there. It's a huge video library. Feel free to use that as a tool. And I'd love to know, where you're at. Anybody, if you know this is for you and you're like, hey, I'm going to contact Josh, say I'm all in the chat. If it's something you need to think about, at least schedule time with Josh to review your online presence. And, I want you all to take steps, even if it's the basics I talked about in the beginning, or it's a little more, but really take this on, because here's the thing is like, there's realtors out there that you compete with, and I know it because I go to all these offices that are doing this stuff. And when you're going up against them, that's what they're saying in a listing presentation is check me out on Instagram, check me out on YouTube, check me out here, check out my reviews. And if you don't have that stuff, you're falling behind little by little, but in a couple of years, that gap will be huge.
Yeah, guys, take advantage. This is a $300 discount we have for HGAR agents. So take advantage of that pricing. Mary worked out that deal with us for all of you guys. So for $879, we'll do everything for you. Being at a lot of these conferences and seeing what, there's a lot of stuff for you guys to invest your marketing budgets in and your money in. But this is really the first thing that we hear from agents that they say that they should have done this, first a long time ago when they first got into the business. So when you're looking at where are my marketing dollars going, at the end of this year or towards next year, this is setting up this foundation of your online presence is probably the most important thing to do, and go look at what else you can do to help grow. But this is by far the number one thing everybody is talking about in the talks from the coaches and what the agents are saying once they go through this optimization. They're so happy. It gives them peace of mind.
I got to jump really soon, but I just want to answer the questions in there. If you just want the digital business card, I think Lil was asking, it's just $99 for the year or $15 a month. You can choose. If you just want the free audit, just text Josh and get the free audit, no obligation, just to know where you're at. If you want the education, realgraderuniversity.com. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll find all the podcast episodes with all the top real estate influencers. We've got everything. If you just have questions, email us at hello@realgrader.com. And lastly, and what I like to say, it never hurts to check. Just check out how you're doing online, ask questions, take action. And when you leave this webinar, if you don't do anything, that's a shame. Do something for yourself, right? Like take some action, like go update your Facebook profile pic and then shoot me an email and let me know how it went. Because just that alone will wake up your Facebook algorithm.
I just put the $99 a year link for just the Instacard in the chat. Also, you can text me if you want me to text you back that link. Both of these services only take a few minutes to register for. On the optimization, the main thing is to just make sure you schedule your call with your technology coach. because they're pushed out a little bit right now because it's a very popular service. So getting that call locked in at the end is crucial. And if you need some help with that, just shoot me a text. I can walk you through it as well.
Awesome. I got to get going. Let us know in the chat if this was valuable to you. Thank you so much for having me, Mary.
Thank you again, Alex. Another great presentation. And yeah, it's a great way, getting back to the basics and just doing something to get started. And then that'll kind of keep the ball rolling. And Alex, she'll be back again next month for our final breakfast with benefits of 2022. We're winding down a little bit for December, but then we'll probably start up again next year with all kinds of new and exciting events. So,
Awesome.
and if anybody else has any other questions after Alex leaves, you can always email me. I will be sending out the recording sometime this afternoon or tomorrow. Okay.
Thanks,
Great.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
I was just here to answer
Thanks,
any
Josh.
questions.
Yep.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Have a
Great
great
day.
Thanksgiving, everybody.